Welcome to DWBIADDA channel. Please subscribe for latest training videos.
Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about Azure Active Directory. Azure Active Directory is a Microsoft cloud-based identity and access management service, which can be used to your employee to sign in and access a resource, both external and internal. So an external resource like your Office 365 or your SaaS application, or your internal resources like your app or your corporate network. So who will be going to use your Azure AD? So your IT admins, your app developers, or your SaaS application, right? So your IT admin is going to control the access of your app and your app resources, and an app developer can use an Azure AD as a standard-based approach for a single sign-on, right? So we'll try to understand this Azure Active Directory more from the portal.azure.com. So let me go into the portal.azure.com, and in the left side you can see a navigation menu, and in the navigation menu I can see an option called Active Directory. So let me go into the Azure Active Directory. So it gives you an overview page of your Azure Active Directory, and I am in the free version of the Azure Active Directory, so I have a very limited access to have an Azure Active Directory. So you need to, most of the features you need to have a premium version of Azure Active Directory to use the most of the features here in the Azure Active Directory. So let me go into the getting started page over here, and let's see what all the features that is being provided by Azure Active Directory. It gives you a small introduction section about the Azure Active Directory, and here there are a few quick links over there to create a custom domain or a free trial for your Azure Premium, or a configure a self service password reset. So let's try to understand this one by one. So let me go into the custom domain. By default, Microsoft is providing the Microsoft domain. You can bring your custom domain into this Azure Active Directory. So you can go and add your custom domain like condoso.com. So you can go and add your custom domain, and later on you can authenticate that custom domain. Until and unless you authenticate, it won't be available. So if you go here in the custom domain option, you can find that here in the custom domain names as well. So if you see that there is an unauthorized, so if you see that the verification is not yet verified, right? So until and unless you verify, you can't able to use this custom domain. So if you need to provide your CNAME and you need to verify your custom domain. So let's go into the Active Directory and see what all the other features there in the Active Directory. So I'm going back to the Getting Start page here, and you can have a free trial version of the Azure AD Premium to use most of the features like if you want to self-service password reset or a company branding or a sync with your Windows Server AD, you need to have this Azure AD Premium version. So what is an Azure configuring a self password reset? So every time you don't need to ask for your customer here or your admin to reset your password, you can give an option as a self-service password reset option if you go and enable this feature. So for enabling this feature, you need to have an premium version of an Active Directory. So what will be the benefit you will be getting to enable this? It will be going to reduce your cost and improve the user experience, right? So let's go and see what the other options in the Active Directory. Let me go into the Get Start page again, and you can go and sync with your Windows Server AD. So before Active Directory, Microsoft have their Windows AD in your on-premises. So how you can go and sync up with your Windows AD with an Azure AD? So Microsoft provide an tool called an Azure AD Connect. You can go and download and install this the Azure AD Connect in your Windows AD, and it will be going to sync your password hash into your Azure AD. So let's see how here in this download option here, and you can go and select the version, and you can see about the details and the system requirement and installation and instructions over here. You can follow that and you can install this into your Windows AD, and you can go and sync your password hash, and in the portal you can see what is the last sync when was the last sync was happened, and when was the password sync, hash was synced. And you can give the user sign-in option. You can federate with your on-premises Windows AD with your Azure AD, or you can provide a seamless single sign-on or a pass-through authentication as well. If I go into the custom domain, I can go and add the custom domain here, or for the federation or a seamless single sign-on. If you see here, there is no domain is being configured. If you have a custom domain, you can go and configure and have a seamless single sign-on on here. All right. So let's go into understand what all the other features here in the Azure Active Directory. So if you have an Office 365 and you already have an Azure Active Directory tenant, then you can go and use this preview experience, configure all the self-service, password reset, and get audit data for your tenant, and get a free trial or an Azure AD Premium. And it given learning material over here, learn Azure AD service overview and Azure AD webinar and Azure AD documentation over there. So, and in the manage section, you will be going to manage your users, groups, roles, and administrators. In the user session, you will be going to invite a user, your external user or an internal user or a guest user. And the group, you will be going to group the users and will be applying some policies over there. So it will be going to apply for the group. And you can set the organization relationship, and you can go and add the roles. So if you see here the role is a very granular way of providing access to your resources. So in the previous video, we have created a virtual network, we have created a database, app service, a lot of resources we created. So in an enterprise, so there will be multiple teams, will be having multiple roles and responsibility. A database team will be going to handle your database, and an app service team is going to be build your app, and a networking team is going to be handle the networking. So a database team not need to have necessarily to have an access to a networking. So in this way, you can go and put the role and responsibility. By default, Microsoft have n number of built-in roles. If you see here, we can have an application administrator role. If you go into the application administrator role, you can go and add an user. If you add a user or a group into this administrative assignment role, then they can go and only an application administrator. He can't go and do and manage anything else over there. So if I go and add assign, I can search for the user and I can go and add it over here. In the same way, you can have an application developer, an authentication administrator, or you can have n number of. So Microsoft provide a description for that. If an application administration can create and manage all aspect of app registration and enterprise app. And if you see here, a DevOps administrator can manage only the Azure DevOps organization policies and settings. And authentication administrator can access, view, set, reset authentication method information from non-admin users. So it's a very granular way of giving the access and providing the user to restrict not to do any other access. And you can also bring your custom domain. By default, whatever you're seeing here is your built-in role. If you see here in the type, I can go and filter built-in role, or you can go and create your custom role. So right now I don't have any custom role here, but you can go and create your custom role using an Azure CLA or an Azure PowerShell script. You can't go and create a custom role from the portal. And you can bring your enterprise application here. You can go and add your enterprise application like Azure DevOps or a cognitive service like Watson or any other service. You can go and bring your enterprise application here. So if you see here, there are n number of applications over here. So if I go and search for Watson is an IBM tool, I can go and integrate, bring my application over here. So if you see here in the existing enterprise application, I have two apps is been added, that is an Azure DevOps and a Watson chat client. All right. So let's go into the Active Directory and try to understand few more features here. And if you see that we discuss about an Azure AD Connect. So if you want to sync up your on-premises Windows AD to your Azure AD, you need to use an Azure AD. That need to be download and install in your configure in your Windows AD. And you can reset your password from here in the Azure Active Directory. And we discuss about this custom domain, and you can put the company branding. These features need your premium version of Azure Active Directory. This is all an introduction session about the Azure Active Directory. In the next section, we will see how we can create a custom role from an Azure CLI and an Azure PowerShell. That's all from my side. Thank you.